So now it's time for coronavirus lockdown kata. We're looking now about over 6 months since the lockdown and like what's going on and how can we deal with it? I want to talk about my observations of the difficulties devotees are going through, and let's see what we can do. So I think the first obvious thing that coronavirus is showing us is that the world is unstable and things can change dramatically very, very quickly. And of course, in the Gita, Krishna says the world is endlessly mutable, but we've never seen in our lifetime something like this change, such a huge change. Or this is one of the major changes we've seen. And we don't really know how long it's going to last. And it's created problems because of isolation, people being alone, especially for devotees. Not being able to gather together has really been hard for many, many devotees. And we see that when we're alone, it's just us and our minds, and we really understand how conditioned we are. When we're with other devotees, then we reflect the consciousness of the devotees, and the devotees reflect our consciousness, and we just become stronger when we're together. But when we're alone, it's just us and our anarthas, and it seems to magnify our consciousness. So we just have more of ourself, which is great if you're Krishna conscious. But if you're not, you don't want so much more of yourself. You want more of other devotees, and then you get inspired. So it's been a challenge. And of course, life, because it's changing, because it's difficult, it provides us with many challenges. And I think the big lesson that we're learning, or we need to learn, is that we have to be adaptable to situations in such a way that we can somehow or other, maintain a sufficient level of Krishna consciousness. And we can't just look at the situation and say, it's so bad that this is how I am. But we have to adjust, because maybe your normal Krishna consciousness, your normal schedule, your normal consciousness, in the lockdown situation where you can't get a lot of association, it's not sufficient for you to be in an inspired state of Krishna consciousness. So now you're going to have to do something different, whatever that may be. Rise earlier, chant more rounds, study more, call your friends, talk to them, more time on online media with classes, whatever it is. We have to make adjustments. So that's the nature of life. It changes. And a lot of devotees, what they do, or we could say what they don't do, when these changes occur, is they don't do anything. They just keep doing the same thing. It's like you get sick and you have to change your diet, the amount of rest you get, what you're eating, and so forth. And if you don't do that and you just go on, then you become sicker. So I'm saying that the coronavirus is teaching us, or should teach us, that when situations are difficult, we have to make some adjustments externally and internally to deal with it, and not allow the situations to get us down, as they're getting down many, many of us, because it's such a different situation, and we're inside so much. It's not like you just go to the temple and there's 100 devotees there doing kirtan. Maybe it's happening now in some places, but not in America. I don't think in India. Everything's being restricted. So I believe that's the main thing we need to learn, because I see, not only because of coronavirus, I just see this problem all the time. There's a shift in a devotee's life. They go from one job to another, or they graduate university, then they go in the workforce, or they go into the Grihastha ashram, or they move to another place or another country. These major shifts can really throw us off if we're not careful. And so we have to, as we say, go with the punches. You can't just allow the punches to knock you over, but you have to move and adjust. And I think that's the big lesson. And if you're not doing it well, just think about it. Like, what do you need to do to adjust to this situation to remain in the optimal state of Krishna consciousness? And if you are doing it, fantastic, keep it up. Hare Krishna.